This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Friday. Can't wait for the weekend. I don't know about you, but I'm Jacqueline Matter.
But I'm Ray Collins. I was out past curfew last night in Lakewood Ranch at an event, and I met one of our loyal viewers who wakes up at 4:45 and watches.
Oh, my.
Colonel John Saputo is watching rather, I should say, on Longboat Key. And we're great to meet the viewers who are watching first thing at 5 a.m.
I know, bright and early. I wonder, what does he do that he gets up so early? Did he mention it?
I think he exercises early because he looks like he's in good shape.
Well, there you go. That explains it.
Let's get to that weekend forecast now from meteorologist John Scalzi.
2 words.
Yes?
Even warmer.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
86 degrees yesterday. I mean, that was really steamy. But today, I think we'll get very close to the 90-degree mark. While I don't think we'll quite break a record here in Sarasota, I think a lot of records will be broken over the next couple of days as temperatures get very close to or above the 90 mark, particularly in inland areas. Our record is 92. I don't think we'll quite get there, but we'll be close, no doubt about it. So across the region right now, we have a little bit of fog out in Gulf waters, a little bit of low cloud. Generally speaking, not affecting land all that much right now, but still close enough that we have to think about that possibility as we go through the morning hours. Kind of like yesterday. Don't think it'll be quite as thick as yesterday. No fog in our area right yet that shows up on our maps anyway. Visibilities are all 4 miles or better, so there's a little mist in the atmosphere. 10-mile visibility would kind of indicate that there's a nice clear sky out there, but a little bit of humidity and a little bit of mist. Daytime highs today will probably top out real close to the 90 mark. I'll put it at 87 degrees by about 2 p.m. and under mostly sunny skies. Now, we may get an isolated shower in inland areas along the sea breeze front. That could happen today. We'll talk more about that and the chance of some rainfall over the weekend and when the rain chances will be best in the 7 days ahead, coming up in just a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thanks, John. Let's check the roads. What do you know? Already a slowdown on 301 northbound just before State Road 70 as you head toward Bradenton. Otherwise, pretty clear right now, as it should be. Into Sarasota. Did you find something in your coffee over there?
I did. I found a bug. It's time to get some new coffee, I think.
Time to wash that mug.
Sorry.
Also on Bee Ridge Road, heading away from the interstate in the westbound lanes. You'll find some slowdowns there just after Cattleman. And then South County map. We'll check that and see. All is clear at 5:03 on this Friday morning.
Topping our news this morning, homelessness continues to be one of the top issues on the Suncoast, especially in Sarasota County.
But county commissioners have agreed to work with city commissioners on a plan. We'll have details right now.
If they would just give me some support, I could get into housing.
James Spielman has been homeless on and off for a long time. For the past 4 months, he's been here in Sarasota. The 56-year-old tells us it's a tremendous struggle just to survive every day on the street.
My hips are killing me so much. At one point, I mean, laying on a cement or the woods or whatever, at one point, I had to be on morphine.
Spielman and other people living on the streets could have some relief soon. The city and the county have agreed to work together and focus on a permanent supportive housing approach. As part of this plan, the Salvation Army would have dozens of more shelter beds for temporary housing, which would then lead to more permanent housing elsewhere.
People will only be sheltered for 30 days or less on the way to permanent housing. Housing first means that you start with housing and provide wraparound services.
Many different organizations would help homeless folks with all types of issues, including mental health. Wayne Appleby is the director of homeless services for Sarasota County. He says in addition to the housing aspect of the plan, coordination amongst all agencies, outreach, and prevention are vital as well.
If the community can come together and embrace all of these components from the entry to the exit of housing, then the plan will see the community will see significant reductions in homelessness.
That can't come soon enough for Daisy Bell Poole. She's been living on the streets now for 12 years.
If they could come up with a shelter for women and men, a dream team apartment and homes programs, where it's paid up for a year, and with the light bill and rent, then we'll be better off than these drug treatment programs.
Next up with all this, Sarasota County and the city of Sarasota say they will discuss implementation of this plan and funding. That's expected to happen within the next few months. In Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Both county and city officials say the homeless numbers are down.
Driving the interstate can mean construction, traffic jams, and accidents. Research shows the 80-mile stretch of I-75 through the Suncoast sees about 4 crashes a day. We've done some digging to find out which locations and times are the most dangerous, and the answers may surprise you.
I have to find alternate routes, 301, 41, anything that will stop me from having to go to 75 because I know it's such a danger, really.
You can hear about the most dangerous locations and times of day on I-75 in a special report coming up at 6 a.m.
A follow-up now on that fire at Port Manatee that sent 5 people to the hospital and caused part of US 41 to be shut down in Palmetto on Wednesday night. North River fire officials say the fire was a sulfur fire sparked by machinery. Logistech Corporation leases the property at Port Manatee where they store sulfate. After 2 fires broke out in the past 10 days, the company now plans to pour water on the sulfate every half hour. They also plan to install a sprinkler system so if another fire breaks out, it can be doused quickly.
The problem that they're having out there currently is, as you're aware, not really experiencing drought conditions, but it's very dry. The good thing about the port is it's not very populated residential-wise, and last night the wind was in our favor.
All 5 people who were hospitalized have since been treated and released. The fires did not pose any health hazards to residents in that region.
A convicted felon is facing more charges after a foot chase leads to a major drug trafficking arrest. Robert Harrell was arrested yesterday on charges of armed trafficking in cocaine, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and possession of marijuana with intent to sell, according to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. Deputies found many of those items in a warrant search of the home where Harrell was staying, but before they got there, he left in his car. When they attempted to pull him over, he ran away and threw some of the drugs and a firearm in a ditch. He was finally apprehended by a canine and taken into custody.
Negotiations continue to expand gambling in Florida. The Seminole tribe would be required under this plan to guarantee $3 billion in payments to the state in exchange for adding craps and roulette to its casinos. The Senate is backing down from its effort to allow slot machines at pari-mutuels in 8 counties where voters have approved them already. Local Senator Bill Galvano is leading the negotiations.
There is ambiguity in the law, and that creates holes where advocates and industry representatives have been able to make arguments, and so a lot of it falls on us to make sure that we have things cleaned up.
Under the latest deal, dog tracks can stop races and keep poker rooms. If approved by voters in referendums, Sarasota has one of the 12 remaining dog tracks in the state.
New this morning, algae being blamed for a foul smell in the tap water in Manatee County. The county says while the drinking water may smell or taste earthy and musty, it is safe to drink. Manatee County utilities officials say water tests over the past several weeks have indicated high levels of blue-green algae. That's the result of algae blooms that they say are common on Lake Manatee this time of year. There are no known health effects caused by that algae. A local school is capturing attention by capturing the sun. Workers are installing more than 600 solar panels at the Out-of-Door Academy School. The campus has been around since the 1920s, and each year leading up to Earth Day, students develop service projects in hopes of giving back to the environment. This year's project involves the installation of pure energy from the sun to all buildings, saving them nearly $30,000 a year in electricity.
People go missing and it's dark and it's rainy and it's dreary. The bloodhound can't get a signal, can't send the helicopter up. I can show up with this and it will work.
The Out-of-Door Academy is the only school in our area making this type of investment on solar energy, and they expect completion to be done by June. They also have a school in Lakewood Ranch, which they also hope to expand solar power at.
Charlotte County has new technology to help find missing people who have Alzheimer's or dementia. It's called Project Lifesaver, and it requires the person to wear a bracelet that emits a GPS radio frequency that can be picked up within a mile radius. So a new drone built by Lockheed Martin is extending that radius to 3 miles, which could certainly help rescuers.
People go missing and it's dark and it's rainy and it's dreary. The bloodhound can't get a signal, can't send the helicopter up. I can show up with this and it will work.
The cost for one bracelet is $300. Those drones are expensive, $48,000. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office is hoping to raise enough money to purchase one.
Happening today, a Suncoast nonprofit is having its annual golf tournament to support pediatric brain cancer research and families going through that fight. The Peyton Wright Foundation works with families, physicians, and social workers to provide practical relief for things like fuel, food, or housing expenses so families can give full concentration to their child's care and treatment. The foundation was established in 2008 by Patrick and Holly Wright in honor of their daughter Peyton, who passed away from brain cancer at the age of 5. The tournament will tee off at the Longboat Key Club. And tonight, a candlelight vigil is planned to remember a murdered Northport teacher. 41-year-old Antoinette Ann Gordon was an English teacher at Northport High School. She was shot and killed last year by her estranged husband in a McDonald's parking lot, who then turned the gun on himself. A vigil will take place tonight, marking the 1-year anniversary of her death at the Port Charlotte McDonald's, where she was killed on Tamiami Trail. Hundreds of people are expected to attend.
This morning, in honor of Arbor Day, Sarasota County is giving away trees. They're marking the day at the historic Bidwell House at 9 o'clock this morning. A program is offering a limited number of trees to residents. You can come by and choose one of 4 species and have it planted on your property. They'll give away 125 trees this morning. The Bidwell House is at 1260 12th Street, which is near Coconut in Pioneer Park. And speaking of free, the Bradenton Veterinary Hospital will be serving free, locally made ice cream at 12:30 today. The vet there says it's a fun way to have a take a cool break with the Suncoast. I get excited about ice cream, you see.
I don't blame you. Me too.
Specially made puppy cups and organic dog-friendly ice cream will be available as well.
I think I'm more excited about the fact that the dogs can get some ice cream as well.
I wanted to set this up a little better than this, but yesterday we had a chance to take our children to work day. And one of our reporters, Dwayne Lindo, brought his nephew in.
That's awesome.
And John and I had a chance to debrief him. I was hoping to catch the start of this, where we talked to him about his life in Punta Gorda. So this is little Tristan. Let's see where we can pick this up.
Play the field. Yeah, I was surprised, though, because your young man is poised and handsome as yourself. I figured there'd be a lot of young ladies that would like to meet your acquaintance.
Probably is. Well, you know, when I was your age...
No comment?
No? When I was your age, I was also brought to a TV station. Anyway, John, that was a fun interview with that little boy.
Wasn't he
Great
really excited to be here, too? I know you guys asked him, and he was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, off the top, I was hoping to hear when I said, thanks for being here. No, thank you. You're right. That's exactly what he said.
Very
a little 11-year-old kid.
Yeah, he was very poised, very well-mannered, and it was great to have him here.
And John said, any girlfriends? He got right to that.
Yeah, and he was very cute about it, too.
He might now after they saw him on TV.
He said, no.
I thought for a while, looked around.
He's like, girls are yucky at 11 years old, right?
Big shout out to him. Some beautiful weather over the weekend. Looks like it's going to be absolutely hot and steamy. But the good news is the red tide is gone, it looks like, and the beaches will be packed, no doubt about it. We'll have the forecast for you in just a second.
All right, well, still ahead. If you're searching for plans this weekend, look no further. We'll have a breakdown of events planned across the Suncoast.
And later in the hour, 2 slaves for sale. It was an ad on Craigslist by a high school student. The story's on the way.
It's the season of savings right now during the spring clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Over 100 standard and available safety features make the new Chrysler Pacifica a safe investment for any family. And right now, you can own one for just $24,999. Or get one of America's longest lasting pickups and save up to $11,000 on a new Ram Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we start off warm and steamy again this morning. We're at 71 degrees, the air temperature, and we have a dew point solidly in the upper 60s. Won't be long before we're in the 70s again. By noon, I would think we're hitting the 70-degree dew point, which most people will say is pretty muggy, pretty sticky. We have a humidity at 90% right now, and there's a possibility we can get some patchy fog out there during these morning hours, similar to what we had yesterday. Fairly clear skies right now will aid in that fog production. Winds out of the east at about 7 right now. Temperatures across the region: 71 Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka, 70 in Parrish and Bradenton, 71 degrees in Lakewood Ranch, 73 in Longboat Key, 73 in Venice, Inglewood at 73, 73 in Punta Gorda. You get the idea. Fairly uniform temperatures. The wind speeds have been up just a little bit. They're coming over land as opposed to coming over water, so you don't get that refreshing wind off Gulf waters right now. As we head into the later part of the afternoon, I think we'll start to see those winds shift more southerly, and then a lot more humidity coming our way. Radar not showing a drop of rain around again today. The drought indexes will remain high as there are no drought-busting rains in the forecast. That said, we could get an isolated shower along the sea breeze front right along 75 there as that develops a little later on in the afternoon, and it will in response to the daytime heating. The frontal boundary that we had around here yesterday has gone. It is a thing of the past, and so consequently, the wind speeds will be slightly reduced from where they were yesterday. Yesterday we had some 20, 22 mile an hour wind gusts. And I don't think we're going to see that today, although we could see some 15, 16, 17 mile an hour gusts. We have another low pressure area located in the center part of the country, particularly where the threat of severe weather exists today. It's not going to move much. This is going to stay pretty much in the same spot for 2 or 3 days. We'll have little low pressure areas rippling along this sort of railroad track of frontal boundary, but it's pretty much locked in place. Now, the high pressure ridge for us will continue to provide us with a southeasterly wind right through the weekend. And that big ridge of high pressure will provide a stable environment whereby you're just not going to see a whole lot of rain shower activity. You might see an isolated shower or two, but what we got to do is chip away at that high pressure ridge in order to get any rain showers really going around here. And that might happen by Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of next week as that front that I said would meander in the center part of the country then slowly works its way here and kind of stalls out over North Florida. That might help to chip away that high and bring us a slightly better chance of rain. But until then, the southeasterly wind flow colliding with our sea breeze in the afternoon is the best shot we have of any kind of cooling afternoon rains. Near record heat for the next several days. Now, I don't think we're going to break the record here in Sarasota. The daytime high temperature record here is 92. So I doubt we break that, but we'll get pretty close to it. In some inland locations, temperatures could reach 94, 95, 96 even possibly as we head through the next couple of days. Isolated showers, lots of sunshine, a warm one, no other way around it. So the beaches will probably be packed this weekend with only a 10% chance of inland showers. And then as we head into next work week, slightly better chances. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at traffic this morning in South County. We're going to start in that direction, actually, in Manatee County. You can see some congestion on State Road 70 and 301, but the big problem in Manatee County is actually in both directions on 41 there, over towards Cortez and South Bradenton towards the Bayshore Gardens area. Other than that, there are no accidents in Manatee County. I-75 looking clear as you head into Sarasota County. Some congestion picking up on Clark Road as you head towards I-75, also on Bee Ridge as you head towards 41. In South County, pretty quiet throughout that region. No accidents across the Suncoast on this Friday morning.
Well, traffic should be lighter these days. Many snowbirds have headed back north, but that doesn't mean things are quieting down locally.
Certainly not. Some really big events are scheduled for this weekend. ABC 7's Linda Carson has more on those fun events in Suncoast Scene.
The 66th annual parade steps off from Manatee High School Saturday night at 6:30, heading down Manatee Avenue. You do not want to miss this one. This is the biggest thing of the year in Manatee County.
We're expecting over 100,000 people to be on the streets of Manatee County. We have 150 beautiful lighted floats that'll be heading down the roadway, and crews from all over the United States, some from as far as South Dakota.
And marching bands.
We have the three Manatee High School bands. Bayshore and Southeast are combining to one band. And then we have two performing bands, Big Daddy Band and Whiskey Blind, that'll be performing along the route.
The 39th annual Siesta Fiesta is coming to Siesta Village this weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 5, and admission is free. More than 200 artists and crafters will take part. And the full Monty is at the Manatee Performing Arts Center.
It's about an out-of-work group of factory workers out in Buffalo who can't make ends meet, so they decide that they see a stripper making all of this money, and they think that they can do it as well.
The actors say it's not easy going full Monty on stage, but
the show is so good that I thought, okay, if I want to do this show and actually act in it, I'm going to have to get past any kind of uncomfortable feelings I may have about going the full Monty. It's totally worth it.
At the Manatee Performing Arts Center through May 7th. And the Sarasota Ballet closes its season with ballets by three of the greatest choreographers of all time.
We've got Dame Nanette de Valois and George Balanchine, who both danced with the Ballet Russe. Independently created, Dame Nanette de Valois created English ballet by founding the Royal Ballet. And of course, Mr. Balanchine came to America and created the New York City Ballet.
And to top it off, Jerome Robbins' ballet, Fancy Free. Fancy Free is great fun for the dancers.
There's three of us, and we each have a different role to take on. One's a bit of a bulldog, kind of a runt. One's a nice Southern boy, and one's like the leader, cool guy, kind of like, I don't know, he's more laid back and ladies' man.
Wow, you certainly don't want to miss that. The Sarasota Ballet's last program of the season. It opens Friday night. It continues Saturday for two performances with a matinee on Sunday. And it's right here at the Sarasota Opera House. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
It's funny watching your ears perk up when you heard Siesta Village was involved.
I know,
this
I
weekend.
love Siesta Key. Also, I love when Linda gets into character. She was wearing the sword hat and the pirate hat there.
Very convincing.
Very much so.
Yes.
Well, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Have you ever noticed recent songs from your favorite artists getting shorter? What a new study says is to blame.
And next half hour at 5:30, Congressman Vern Buchanan wants to protect first responders. We'll tell you how coming up.
Introducing the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia, a performance masterpiece. Race-inspired handling and lightning-fast response times take your drive to the next level. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
from Alfa Romeo. Appearance, performance, power. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Heading toward a hot weekend, 5:25 right now.
A Maryland man is crediting his Apple Watch with saving his life.
An apple a day, anyway. Details this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a college student credits his Apple Watch with helping to save his life.
Casey Bennett was in a crash, hanging upside down and couldn't reach his phone. But he knew that by pressing the watch's side button for 6 seconds, it would dial 911.
It also alerted his emergency contacts. Apple says it's just glad he's okay.
Yeah, it called his dad for him. Nintendo has announced its new handheld gaming system. It's called the 2DS XL.
So Nintendo is touting its 2 large displays, new controllers, and a small light size. It hits stores in late July. The price tag, $150.
And streaming services are changing more than how we listen to music.
That's right. New research shows songs and musical intros are getting shorter because fast forwarding and skipping is easy with services like Pandora and Spotify.
And get this, in the 80s, instrumental intros ran for an average of 20 seconds. Today, just 5.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Aleve.
Fun and art class. Come close, come close.
When your pain reliever stops working, your whole day stops.
Try this.
For minor arthritis pain, only Aleve can stop pain for up to 12 straight hours with just 1 pill.
Thank you.
You can't quit. Neither should your pain reliever. Stay all day strong with 12-hour Aleve. Check this Sunday's paper for extra savings on products from Aleve.
When you open an avocado from Mexico, you open a Cinco de Mayo party, so you can celebrate any time or place.
Avocados from Mexico.
Aunt Gertrude would have loved this.
Avocados from Mexico.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill, I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is rated the #1 car brand in safety, and all Subaru models with eyesight are a 2017 IIHS top safety pick. And you can lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester, for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, will a federal budget be passed in time? A midnight deadline is now looming.
After a passenger was dragged off the flight earlier this month, now the company looking to avoid those future situations.
North Carolina mourns the death of a corrections officer killed inside this facility.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Pretty shot of the Ringling Causeway as you wake up on this Friday morning. You see plenty of bicyclists and joggers over that bridge this weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, because it's going to be hot out there, and you're going to want to bring a water bottle, some sunscreen if you are traveling across that Ringling Bridge and getting outdoors this weekend.
Yeah, good idea. Let's get details of the forecast now from the man who has all the answers, John Scalzi.
Well, I'll tell you what. It is going to be hot. It's going to be very hot, and I can't urge folks enough to stay well hydrated through the weekend. This is probably some of the hottest weather that we have seen since last summer, so sometimes it's easy to forget just how dehydrated you can get. And I guess the rule that we are told from our physician friends is that once you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So drink before you get thirsty this weekend. I think heat indexes will probably be above the century mark in many locations. We have a little bit of fog building out in Gulf waters this morning. I think like yesterday, we might see a little bit of low-hanging cloud to start off the morning. Might even see a little bit of fog over land developing in the next hour or two. It shouldn't be all that severe, shouldn't be that big of a problem. Right now, it's located mostly down to the south of us, south of Lee County, but it's starting to creep into areas of Charlotte County, so we'll watch for that and make allowances for that. Heading to the beach this weekend. Well, the good news is Mote Marine spotters all agree from every location where they sampled the air quality that there are no problems with red tide toxins in the air. And in fact, preliminary samples from the waters of our area beaches show that there's not much out there in terms of red tide. It seems to be gone, which is great news. Okay, so today, daytime highs top out in the upper 80s to near 90 with little chance of rain. Talk about the forecast for the weekend in a minute.
All right, thanks, John. Let's check the traffic right now. Nothing too much to report at this hour of the day. A little slowdown there on 14th Street West heading south near Bayshore Gardens. Pretty clear in Sarasota. A little slowdown there around Bee Ridge and 41. Nothing too major at this point of the day. And then farther south into Sarasota County, a little slowdown around the Nokomis, Venice area. Otherwise all smooth at 5:32 on your Friday morning. Topping our news this half hour, tensions continue with North Korea over its nuclear and missile programs.
The president says he would prefer a diplomatic outcome, though. He also reflects on his past life as he reaches his 100th day in office. ABC's Stephanie Ramos reports from Washington.
President Trump says things may get ugly with North Korea, but he'd rather it not.
There's a chance that we could end up having a major conflict with North Korea. Absolutely.
The president tells Reuters in an Oval Office interview he's making the North Korean nuclear threat a top priority. But with messages like these,
North Korea is a problem.
The relationship with the North Korean regime is only intensifying. President Trump also taking some time to reminisce on his life before president as he nears his 100th day in office.
I loved my previous life. I had so many things going. I actually, this is more work than in my previous life. I thought it would be easier.
What's proven to be difficult? His ongoing negotiations with congressional Republicans and Democrats on a spending bill to keep the government open, differing over health care.
I think we're making very good progress.
Republicans say they would push a short-term spending bill through the House today with only GOP votes. That would keep the government open past the midnight deadline tonight. Democrats say the ball is in the GOP court.
The minute they cast that vote, they put doo-doo on their shoe, tattoo on their forehead. At some point, they're going to have to explain it to their children. What did they do to make America sick again?
A House GOP leader says there will be no vote on any major health care legislation until at least next week. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
Now House GOP leaders say there would be no vote on major GOP health care legislation until at least next week.
Yeah, suspense is building toward a government shutdown at midnight tonight, and partisan politics is flaring on Capitol Hill. Republican leaders in Congress say they're nearly ready to pass a spending bill, but Democrats insist they won't cooperate if Republicans try to repeal and replace Obamacare, as you just heard. Democratic leader Chuck Schumer is also insisting on provisions on abortion, the environment, and financial regulations. The House is scheduled to vote on a one-week extension this morning. The deadline to pass a spending plan to avoid a shutdown is tonight at midnight.
The Senate has confirmed law school dean Alex Acosta as Secretary of Labor. The vote fills out President Trump's cabinet just ahead of his 100th day in office. Acosta will lead an agency that will enforce workplace protections for about 125 million workers. He has served as a federal prosecutor, a civil rights chief at the Justice Department, and a member of the National Labor Relations Board. The president had originally nominated fast food CEO Andrew Puzder for the position, who withdrew after acknowledging he had hired a housekeeper not authorized to work in the U.S.
New details now from United Airlines after the company's settlement with a passenger who was dragged off a flight earlier this month in Chicago. The company is now introducing 10 new policies. That includes never removing a passenger unless there is a security or safety concern. And get this, passengers can now receive up to $10,000 if they voluntarily give up their seats. Sign me up. Employees are also going through more training as well. In North Carolina, 2 people were injured after a helicopter crashed next to a home some 40 miles northwest of Charlotte. Nobody on the ground was injured. The copter clipped a portion of roof as well as the foundation of the house. The 2 on board were surveying for a natural gas line before the aircraft experienced engine trouble.
North Carolina is mourning the loss of a corrections officer. Authorities say Sergeant Megan Lee Callahan died Wednesday after she was assaulted by an inmate at Bertie Correctional Institution. Governor Roy Cooper ordered all state flags to fly at half-mast in her honor today. Well, yesterday, actually, pardon me. Inmate Craig Wiesink is being investigated in connection with the sergeant's death. He was already serving a life sentence for first-degree murder.
Our extended family is grieving. And we're also very mindful of Miss Callahan's family, her parents, her sister, and other family members at this time.
Callahan was from Edenton, North Carolina. The 29-year-old was with the department since January of 2012. She was promoted to sergeant in February of 2016. The State Bureau is conducting a full investigation into that sergeant's death. And in Ohio, police have accused a man of trying to join ISIS. 26-year-old Laith Walid Alabini is in federal custody, and the FBI has raided his apartment. Federal court documents show Alabini's interrupted trip to Syria to fight with ISIS was not the first try. He was previously arrested and escorted out of the Turkish embassy in Washington, D.C. back in January. Court documents say Alabini refused to say why he was on the White House property, but he did say, "You are going to regret this," when being escorted off the property. Those documents also say Alabini tried to fly to Turkey just a few days later, but was stopped in Amsterdam.
Okay, 5:30. An interesting story here. A Florida high school student was suspended after posting an ad on Craigslist calling for 2 slaves for sale with a photo of 2 female students.
Officials began investigating that ad on Wednesday night after it was posted to Craigslist and then was shared on Facebook hundreds of times. Bridget Matter has that story.
I think this went way too far. There shouldn't have been a joke at all.
Autumn Olson, a Fleming Island High School senior, is friends with the girl in this Craigslist ad. The title, 2 slaves for sale, $470. The description, 2 healthy slave girls for sale, good condition, hard work ethic. If you need another pair of hands in the farm or house, you are in luck.
That is awful.
The ad has since been taken down, but it still lives on social media through comments like this. It's sad. Parents send kids to school to get an education, and kids have to deal with stuff like this. This is wrong on so many levels. The student who posted it, a senior at Fleming Island High School, has since been suspended and is facing possible expulsion. These girls' classmates stand by them and hope everyone learns a valuable lesson from this.
And I was mind blown about it. I'm surprised that this type of stuff is still happening in 2017.
The student is not facing any kind of criminal charges at this time.
On to Tallahassee now, where the House is preparing to vote on a bill banning sanctuary cities. The bill would force cities to work with federal immigration authorities. Those who don't cooperate would face hefty penalties. This comes just days after a federal judge blocked an executive order to defund sanctuary cities. By the way, sanctuary cities provide a safe haven to those with immigration issues. On to Tallahassee now. If Florida's new proposed budget is passed, Governor Scott won't be happy. It appears he's losing out on his top 3 initiatives, including funding for state tourism, a job incentive program, and repairs to a dike around Lake Okeechobee. The plan does include an across-the-board pay raise for state employees. Well, there's still a chance Governor Scott could veto the budget, which would require then lawmakers to come back for a special session.
The Florida House is approving a bill that would give further protection to people applying to top academic positions at universities and colleges. The bill would require the initial pool of applicants for positions like president and dean be kept confidential. Only the identities of those selected to be among the final group of applicants would be released. Sponsors of the bill say the move is necessary for those who are still employed and don't want their employer to know they're looking elsewhere.
When we're competing for our universities, we need to make sure that everybody possible that has talent applies here. We can't let fear be a deterrent to come to Florida.
Those against the bill say the information about applicants is vitally important to the public.
Back to federal politics again. Now, Vern Buchanan, our local congressman, is sponsoring a bill that would stiffen sentences for people who kill or attempt to kill first responders. Yesterday, the House Judiciary Committee approved the so-called Thin Blue Line Act. The bill comes as the number of police officers killed in shootings increased by more than 50% nationally last year. The full House on Capitol Hill will vote on Buchanan's measure next month.
Meanwhile, the governor responding to a challenge of his authority going before the Florida Supreme Court. Orlando State Attorney Aramis Ayala says Scott violated the state constitution when he took away almost 24 cases from her desk. Scott made the decision after Ayala announced that she would not seek the death penalty against alleged cop killer Markeith Lloyd. The governor, though, he says his actions were legal.
Good news for the 5,000 families in Florida who care for foster children. A bill that's going to Governor Scott's desk gives foster parents some unusual perks here. Free annual state park passes. It also gives foster families half-price discounts on campsites, and families that adopt a special needs child in the state will receive a one-time annual park pass as well. So some little nice ways to say thank you to the foster parents who do such great work across our state.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And then if you go out and you get one of those snakes and you wrangle it, you'll get a free lifetime hunting license. So you've got all of the outdoors covered.
Oh, there you go.
All these incentive programs.
That's right. Love it.
Great.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We have a chance at seeing, I've got some incentive for you this afternoon. We've got a chance at seeing some showers around. Isolated showers. Yeah, not drought busters, not a big deal. But at least we get something, right? We'll talk about that in the forecast in a second.
Anything's better than nothing, I suppose.
Exactly right.
Well, still ahead, parents concerned their children aren't being tested enough for lead in their blood. We'll tell you why this is happening around the country. That's next in your Health Smart.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabein.com.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
It's the season of savings right now during the spring clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or stop by today and drive away in a 2017 Jeep Cherokee for just $18,999. And for a limited time, get America's best value, a new Dodge Journey for as little as $16,599. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we are looking at some very pleasant conditions outside, a 71-degree temperature, a dew point that is warm. So it feels a little bit humid out there, and we do have some patchy fog trying to build across the region, especially to the south of us, where the moisture is a little thicker. And also out in Gulf waters, there's a little fog as well. 68-degree dew point will probably get into the 70s before too terribly long this morning. By lunchtime, I bet you we have a 70-degree dew point. Winds are fairly light out of the east, coming in over land. It allows for a kind of uniform temperature structure from inland areas to coastal regions. We've got 71 in Arcadia. We've got 71 in Sarasota. You got 73 in Wauchula. You got 72 in Bradenton, 72 in Parrish, 73 in Northport. You get the idea. And I think as we head into the afternoon, we'll see a more southerly bend to those winds, so the southeasterly wind flow will also help pump in moisture, which is good. Fire danger continues to grow across the Suncoast. Again, if you look at the color scale here on the Fire Danger Index, which is an indication of how likely it is for a fire to start and require professional suppression from one of our agencies. High is in orange, very high is in red. And in our area, many locations are already in red in the Suncoast and surrounding vicinities. So, pay extra careful attention this weekend, as I don't see too much relief in the way of any kind of widespread rain showers. Not much going on radar right now, as I mentioned. Don't look for rainfall too much today. Now, maybe a little bit later on this afternoon, we might pick up an isolated shower too. We'll show you that in a second. Big storms back to the west, in fact, along this frontal boundary, and centered around, most likely, that area of low pressure moving into areas of the Arklatex today. We are likely to see the best chance for severe weather, tornadoes, gusty winds, hail in excess of an inch thick, that sort of thing. Dangerous conditions there. High pressure for us, though, provides us with another benign weather day. Little rain chance, a southeasterly wind flow, pumping up the heat and the humidity, with many inland locations particularly either tying or breaking all-time temperature records for this day. Our temperature record is 92. I don't think that we will break that one, but we will get very close to it. And if you factor in the humidity with the heat, it'll have a feels-like temperature of probably over 100 this afternoon. Near record heat, isolated showers along the sea breeze front mostly, and then lots of sunshine right straight through the weekend. UV index is high. Slather on that sunscreen if you're heading to the beaches. This dry air indicated by the tan contour on our water vapor imagery. And remember, the water vapor imagery shows you the swirls and motions in the atmosphere where the moisture is not and where it is. It's not over the state of Florida right now, so don't expect too much in the way of any kind of large-scale systems headed our way. You know, the fair weather cloudiness out in Gulf waters could lead to a pretty nice sunset this evening. That's the good news. A little bit of morning low-hanging clouds gives way perhaps to an isolated shower or two along a sea breeze front later in the afternoon. Then we clear out. Tomorrow, maybe the same thing, but high pressure building in will probably make tomorrow drier than today. So we look for a southeast wind throughout the afternoon at 5 to 10 knots, moderate chop on bay and inland waters. The forecast calls for about a 10% chance, mostly inland along the sea breeze front over the next several days, and then better chances as we kind of chip away at that high pressure ridge, which is providing us with stable atmosphere as we head into Monday, Tuesday of next week. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, John. Looking to the roadways this morning, the Green Bridge seeing a little bit of traffic congestion. Also, State Road 70 seeing a little bit as you head towards I-75, 301 as you head up towards downtown Bradenton. In Sarasota County, some congestion on Clark Road as you head towards I-75. Also 41 as you head south. In South County, pretty quiet throughout that region. Not a whole lot to report on this Friday morning. This morning in Health Smart, are you looking for a way to be happier, relate better to your coworkers, or looking for more friends? That might be you, Ray.
Always, always. Thank you very much. Science suggests you try a little compassion. I've heard that word before. What's that mean? Kim Hutcherson has details in this morning's Health Minute.
A new study shows that if you're looking for ways to be happier and make deeper connections with the people in your life, try being a little more compassionate. Compassion is related to empathy and has been described as a feeling of loving kindness towards other people. An associate professor of psychology at the University of Miami says compassionate people tend to be more forgiving of others and have a stronger sense of life purpose. They are also more self-confident and more resilient. So how does one become more compassionate? Daily meditation is a great way to start and can have lasting benefits. Take about 15 to 20 minutes out of your day and find a quiet place to clear your mind. Focus on different people, those you are close to as well as those you aren't, and think positively about them. Exercises like this can strengthen your sense of compassion as well as broaden your attention and your overall sense of well-being. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Good advice there. Something more for parents now to be concerned about these days. A new study reveals that kids aren't being tested enough for elevated levels of lead in their blood. Analysts say the problem is multifold. For example, the law requires that children who qualify for Medicaid get tested for lead, but they don't. And recommendations from the American Academy of Pediatrics on lead testing for other kids aren't always followed. In addition, 12 U.S. states do not report lead totals to the CDC. Lead exposure can lead to brain damage and behavioral issues as well.
A new type of blood test could help track changes in a person's cancer and lead to better tailored treatment. Researchers are monitoring lung cancer by using blood tests to track genetic changes in tumors as they progress. The tests, called liquid biopsies, detect bits of DNA that tumors shed into the blood. With those, scientists in the UK were able to detect some reoccurrences of cancer up to a year before imaging scans could. That allows patients to start the right treatment sooner rather than later. The study was published in the New England Journal of Medicine and the journal Nature. Well, they look like any type of pants that you would take off after a long day working in the garden.
But they're actually selling like they look at retail stores at high prices. There's a story about this new fad coming up. Stay with us.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service, quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
All right, take a look at this. These caked in fake dirt jeans are on sale. Yes, you heard that right, on sale. Take a look. Nordstrom, the big retailer that has these blue jeans on the rack, selling for $425.
Say what?
Yup. To have jeans caked in dirt.
Well, this is like 20, 30 years ago when suddenly jeans came out that were ripped at the knees. Who would buy ripped jeans?
Oh, my grandma used to ask me that all the time when I would wear this.
And now they're almost still in style, right?
Yeah.
Ripped jeans?
Big fat. But that price tag seems a little on the high side.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe they're like incredibly well fitted and all that sort of thing. And highest quality dirt and, you know, just, I don't know.
I just found out the hard way.
Soil from the South
Yes.
Peninsula of France.
Something, exactly right.
Now, you know about this, and I know about this now. John, you have to throw out your jeans. They're called dad jeans now. You got to get new jeans that are designer jeans, right?
Oh.
He told me Aaron, his wife, made him throw out his dad jeans.
Levi's out the door.
But
now
I don't think John knows what dad jeans are. We'll have to show him a picture.
Yeah. Don't wear a lot of jeans. It's too hot for jeans.
More suits, right?
Right.
All right, we'll have more local news, the traffic, and John's forecast, and wardrobe tips after this. Stay with us.